Okay. So any other crazy picks that we see? Either picks that we haven't seen too much of. I mean, we're definitely not getting techies in this game, but anything crazy along that lines, or maybe even anything we haven't seen yet.
I wouldn't say definitely. There is, of course, Ice in this game as well. So he would be a player that could pull out the techies.
Winter's laughing. Come on.
It can happen, Winter. Are you gonna smile?
Yeah, because when you mentioned crazy, that's the first guy.
And they actually they saw eHome being completely, caught off guard by the Tekis pick yesterday. So it could also be a thing. From eHome, if you're looking for a surprise pick from eHome, if I had to bet, it would be on the Draw Ranger. As I said, I think it was yesterday, they do play a lot of Draw Ranger strats, and they've been doing it without Visage. Just they used to run some Draw Pugna, lineups like this where they just go and they push all the time, and they force the issue very early, and they just catch you off guard because you're not ready to actually defend your base damage in, but they're going to go for it if you're not ready.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts, Wega?
No, I just want to mention again that Luna, she's going to keep being a relevant hero here. It won't fade off. After it started here in the later stage of the main event, it will keep going.
Okay. Just checking my little list that we've been keeping throughout the tournament. There's a number of players who started off this tournament that had a chance of winning a second one. We've obviously lost a couple more players now, of course, with Secret gone. It now means we have just 2 players left who can repeat. That's Zhao 8 in LGD and Hao, who's in Vici Gaming. So there's only 2 left, and if we lose them out of this, then we're down to 1.
I mean, we just need one.
Well, we do just need one, but it becomes much harder just to get one guy through to the final. It just goes to show how difficult it is to repeat. It's a storyline that we followed all the way through. Obviously, it came into the group stages, and we were talking about it back then, and obviously with Chobra here. And we've been talking about it all week as well. And I know some people have sort of said, why do you keep talking about it? Well, because it's an important thing. It's one of those things that the players want to do as well. I remember S4 saying in his video interview that that's what's driving him right now. He wanted to win 2 in a row, or 2 overall. So how important do you think it is for these players to have those achievements each time? Because it's not about the money when it comes down to that, is it?
Exactly. For every other player, it's I want to win TI, but for one who has already done it, it's to repeat the story. And as you said, it's almost impossible to win just one TI. To repeat the story, we'll see if that can actually happen. I mean, for Hao and Xiao 8, that's the dream.
Yeah, it's tough. And we've lost a lot of champions along the way. Obviously, your guys not qualifying either, and then losing Na'Vi early. It's been a bad year for the champions and the favourites as well. It almost seems like it's the year of the wild card.
But it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing overall for the scene for 2 reasons. First of all, it's going to give hope to a lot of players, a lot of teams. Nothing is impossible. When you see CDEC dominating the international, and they weren't even invited, they were a qualifier team. They did well in the qualifier, but they actually didn't even win the qualifier. They did well. They were only second. And suddenly they're one of the strongest teams here, and we're even questioning if EG can actually, beat them. So it's it's a whole new scene suddenly. So, and it's also gonna bring back to earth, I'd say, the better players, if some of them feel like they are actually far away, far ahead of the others. It's just gonna bring back a tougher competition.
Yeah, we've had a couple of players, notably this week. I picked out Arteezy, who said it. And Ice has also said that they both used the word cocky. And I picked up on that because it's exactly what we'd set up here. Was maybe they were a bit cocky when they went out there, going out in their shows and went. And they admitted to that. And I think that's really humble of them to do so. So it's a good identifier that they've gone, hang on a minute. We kind of got carried away here with the whole, we're really good and we're going to win this easily.
Yeah, but sometimes players realize that too late. And I think that's why we've seen a poor performance from the champions TI4, TI5. The only one that was really close, I would say, was Na'Vi in TI3 that actually almost got it. But everyone else, they just don't have that same hunger. After you've already proven that you're the best, if you win another TI, you just prove that you're the best again, right? It's not nearly as strong as, someone who doesn't believe in you. It's like, oh, you guys are good, but you haven't won a TI yet, right?
We saw it in the G interview, although that interview was a bit, but there was some information in it. And he actually said at some point, we wanted to beat Secret. So not only they wanted to win and go further, they also wanted to prove that they were better than Secret. And I feel like when you're Secret, sure, you want to win and move on, but you don't necessarily want to beat Virtus Pro. Of course you want to, but it's not a big achievement for them. Whereas Virtus Pro, it's, wow, you actually disqualified Secret.
Yeah, the drive is the main thing is the drive for VP beating Secret is greater than the drive for Secret beating VP.
Exactly.
That's why they perform better.
Yeah, sometimes it just comes down to that little bit of hunger, doesn't it, in the moment. Do you feel there was any any sandbagging of any of the teams before we got to TI. I mean, it's been a common thing in sports. I just wonder whether you feel like maybe in Dota 2 some of these guys have been keeping stuff back, haven't been putting everything in. Someone actually did say to me yesterday he believed that the Chinese teams had all not done anything for the first 6 months with their eye fully on the international. I can't believe they've gone to 11 tournaments and not tried hard.
Nah, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't agree as well.
No.
I mean, the last few months before TI, there's always talk at every LAN, like at ESL, it was talk, oh, is Secret going to pull out all their strategies or are they saving for TI? But in all reality, I haven't seen any team that I feel is saving strategy. Even Secret at ESL, they performed really well. They pulled out some Tusk-Teki combination, which was seen here at TI as well. I don't think any team was holding back stuff and trying to, because the meta changed from ESL to here.
I understand the frustration, though, because people are looking for why have suddenly the Chinese teams become fantastic again when they haven't had particularly good 6 months at the
This
start of
whole
the year.
thing is a fairy tale. Like, this is
Yeah.
this is not reality. You always want to win in Dota. You're not like, I'm gonna lose for 6 months and then, I have this master plan. What if you just lose at TI? Then you're like, you look like a fool, basically.
Yeah.
And you lost everything on the whole. You always try your best because they're all competitors. They're like the toughest competitors.
Okay, very quickly before we go into the draft, 1-1 or 2-0, you two?
1-1.
1-1.
2-0.
Wow, okay. A difference of opinion on the analysis desk. Who'd have thought?
E-Home versus VG Gaming. Game.
All right.
Game 2. I'll help him out there. E-Home having to pull this one back. VG Gaming on the verge of making it into the top 4 yet again at the International. The draft is live.
So are we going to see a Winter Ribbon this time? Because I feel like VG Gaming, they can't really afford to ban it because Bounty Hunter is still available. So same goes for the for the VH, but the Gyro is still there.
Yeah, it was banned in the first phase of that game, so they might.
But they were first pick, so that's why they could also first pick the Gyro. So it's a bit riskier this time around. They have to choose between both heroes. On the other hand, if they do let the Winter Wyvern and E-Home first pick set, they can go for the Dogs here. So there's this Winter Wyvern Darkseer.
If you get
mind game we've seen.
There is, but you can also get Gyrocopter Darkseer, which is also super strong if they rate Winter Wyvern that high. So there's a little mind game now from FY and what he wants to do here.
I think at the moment E-Home rates Wyvern the highest. Like maybe Lina would be their second priority, but I can see Wyvern, Lina, and Bounty Hunter. These are the 3 heroes that they
more than Darkseer.
Yeah.
That's what they have been doing as well, just picking it as soon as possible, any chance given. So Darkseer actually gets banned out.
Interesting. Gyro again?
They're targeting RTK, aren't they? Like, they realized last game, managed to shut him down, will not keep trying to hold him back because then E-Home doesn't really come online.
Yeah, it really felt like ROTK not being able to have the impact he usually has on the game made them. They felt just weaker overall because of that.
Yeah, and we mentioned about this before. With ROTK leading a team, you need to give him a good start. If he doesn't get a good start, he's not going to be like the presence of him in the game is significant.
A good start to him isn't really like he doesn't need to be like 5-0 and super fun. He just needs a decent start so he has what he needs to take the fights correctly. That's basically it.
Queen Winter Wyvern.
Wow. So the Winter Wyvern got through for the first time against these two, and it got picked. No surprise.
Queen of Pain as well. Good combination. I don't know. Winter Wyvern is just super strong against Gyrocopter as well.
What about Undying for E-Home?
It could be a hero that I think it's a hero that fits them in the sense that they like to be very aggressive. They like to team fight a lot. It's a great team fight hero. Great hero to just take objectives. I don't know. Do they even pick DK E-Home? I'm thinking of a lineup around DK Gyro, but I'm not sure they've played DK so much.
I don't believe it's CTY's hero as well. It just doesn't feel like it because he excels at these high skill heroes. You know, these heroes that can bring the insane plays. He's not a very mechanical. I go in and stun with a Shadow Blade DK.
At the same time, I think it plays to the strengths of their team. As we saw, like last year, RTZ played a lot of DK, and they just won games straight up with it just because it was a straight out draft.
I mean, sometimes you have to pick a hero according to your lineup instead of focusing too much. Oh, this guy, he's really good at playing heroes.
Of
like
course,
this.
yeah.
You have to fit the lineup. So I think you need to find a balance between those
Storm Spirit.
All right. Well, that was cool.
balance. No balance. Only CTY Storm.
And there's a hero that eHome completely gave up on. It's Razor. I feel like they've been picking Razor a lot prior to the main stage, and they completely forgot about it or just ignored it.
I mean, we talk about CTY.
He don't want that game. You remember he had that? Yeah. I mean, bad game. He had a tough game versus EG.
It's a techies game.
And then
it's always going to be a bad game.
No more Razor.
I mean, his Razor was not having fun, but as Winter said, the techie gank, the suicides, it's just, you're not used to it, and it happened. You lost to an Ember, it's really rough on lane.
Storm has been super successful so far.
He has been, every game, and it's not just about winning or losing, it's about the impact he has in the game. Like, it really shows how his initiation can be super important for a team.
Definitely.
Because he can start the fight, and then Gyrocopter or any other hero that you have behind can just roll in and take the fight much easier as the enemies kind of spread out.
I think the bigger reason why he's so successful is, I think Loda mentioned previously, teams have been prioritizing and picking two cores, like a double core, dual core lineup, and Storm at the same time, he's a core that can control the game, can act as like a ganker as well.
Yep.
He's just there's so much usage of the hero, and he secures the late game. You feel safe when you have Storm plus Gyro.
Yeah, and the other team, they have to feel pressured when you know that the Storm is going to get farmed.
At the same time, though, not a terribly easy lane for Storm Spirit. We did see CTY die a couple of times in that straight 1v1 matchup. But Winter Wyvern, pretty good versus them. I'd be pretty happy if I were VG.
Yeah, I mean, having a Wyvern to defend your teammates against the Storm is obviously very good, but I feel the Storm this game, maybe you want to consider getting Orchid earlier. I'm not sure if you want to forego the Bloodstorm, because Orchid is just a good way of, when you initiate, you don't have to worry about the Wyvern actually saving the target, since you can always see the Wyvern first and just drop the Orchid on him, and you can proceed to secure the kill.
It's also the way that if Storm gets Orchid, even if he gets it at the same time as the Queen of Pain, he will be able to jump in and silence her and pull her and kill her before she does anything, really. So I think Orchid first is better for Storm, and it's going to be, as you said, really great against Winter.